about.
Can you tell the flag joke again?
The flag?
The fly. The fly joke, I know you told it.
Oh, it's an old story. It's a guy was in prison for life, and he got out after 25 years. And while he was in prison, he had to do something, and he didn't know what to do. And this one day, this little fly started buzzing around him. So he says, I've heard people training fleas. So he says, I'll train this little fly to do tricks. So he finally, years and years, he worked on the fly and got him to do back loops and fly around in different formations and everything. And he says, I bet people would pay to see that. So when he got out of prison, he said, I'm going to take this fly with me. And he says, I'll be able to pay my way after I get out of here and put on this show for the people. So he says, well, where am I going to sell it? So he says they had a restaurant, a very swanky restaurant that they put in stand-up comedy and all that kind of stuff. So he says, I'll go over there, and he says, I'll show the manager, and he'll surely sign me up, give me some money for putting on this show. And so he goes over to the restaurant, he orders a bowl of soup. And so he calls the manager over, and the manager says, what do you want? And he says, look, he says, I take this fly out. He says, you see this fly? And the manager goes, swats the fly. He says, now what did you want? Each time I'll just ask him a couple more times and I'll be normal. And so he says to the frog, he says, will you marry me? And the frog says, no, I won't marry you. And sure enough, he loses another 6 inches.